Hello, welcome to Season 5 of Titus Pétange. Now this is where we start getting some significant momentum going forward. We have just turned professional as a football club. And even though last season ended in, the worst possible way, just coming short, very short of a league title, the second in a row, we got some good news. We have got some good news. We actually had shirts sold last season, 54 of them. Titus Pétange turned professional. Scouting range has increased to continental. Training and youth facilities all increased. Everything. Which means the finances have taken a dive. £1.1 million in the balance. But it's not just the facilities where that money's gone to, okay? So, in the ins, as soon as we heard the news that we were turning professional, I was like, holy moly, that's big. And then the transfer budget rolled in of £1 million. I had £1 million to play with. I was on cloud 9. I think I might have even had 2.1 because of our good use of finances prior to this season. Even so, it was a bit of a shock. So, we went and signed some big players, big potential players. Also, I thought, unfortunately, this is the save where I've gone for 5-star players and they've all not really turned out right. The big signings, which, to be honest, it's disappointing in a way. It's disappointing in a way, but it was going to happen eventually because every single time I sign these big players up, there's always one that turns out good. And there was going to be one time where it doesn't go like that. So we had Bjorn Hacker, who's the first one that I put big money into because I thought to myself, this guy's going to be great. Even with the unambitious personality, he's got 15 determination, he'll be fine. Nope. 4.5 stars. I was like, okay. He's still going to do really good in the Luxembourg league, but I really want to find world-class players when I am putting down £500,000 with a team like this. Kasper Hostrup was the next one. He came 4.5 star potential, now dropped to 4-star potential. Devastating again. Really, really heartbroken with these signings. £800,000. I put into that. I guess Alvaro Inigo is a pretty decent player. Goalkeeper, a perfectionist goalkeeper, and he's still got that 5-star potential. So the hope is on him. The hope is on him. If we can get, we'd need £3 million back, essentially. All the other bad signings are completely wiped away. If that kid turns really good for us. Rodrigo Yori was a free. We started really, really early. You might notice this is actually the previous season. Yori was a free, but now he's gone to Dudelange. Playing for Dudelange, congratulations. Papi D apparently now has gone back up to 5-star potential, but I didn't see it myself. And I'm not going to fall for it. I've seen that it's a 4-star potential player, and there's not that many players, apart from the lad that we had at Rupel Boom, that I let go and then had to sign up for about £70 million. Apart from that lad, there's not that many players that prove that them potential stars wrong when they're at the club. Alright, so this guy was a 4.5 star. I'm going to believe he's a 4.5 star. I'm not going to believe this guy's going to develop into a star player. We sold him back out. We signed him up for 76k. We had a 50k loss on that because we sold him for 26k, which is not good. Lamine Kone. He's been signed and then sold. I just tried to get the ones that didn't really work out. I tried to get out of the club as much as possible because I wanted to find 5-star players. And it created a bit of a merry-go-round. It has been the busiest summer, absolutely. Trying to find the right players. Centre-backs were a piss take. A real big piss take. Orlando Gutierrez, a Costa Rican centre-back that signed up, was 5 stars initially. I was like, get in, there's one, there's a great sign. No, he's dropped to 4.5-star potential. Unless we've got some really serious ballers in this club, which I don't doubt it. There probably is some serious ballers at this club. It's a tad unlucky to get all these 4.5-star players. If there's a couple of players that are like 170 PA somewhere around the squad, I can understand why everybody else who's like maybe 140 at best, I can understand why they are just 4.5 stars. But it has confused me, and it's ended up with me selling players that I didn't really want to sell. I didn't really want to sell this season just to try and get higher potential players into the club. Anyway, on the outgoing side of things, just before the current season, we had Lee Williams, Gomez, them going for loans to Dudelange and Progress Nidacorn. We got Carla Cesar going out. Excuse me, Carla Cesar going out on a free. And look, that potential is shot up again. You can't win. Can't win. Federico Guerrero goes out on loan. Papi Di, who we've already talked about, going to Tungroith FC. And I was actually going to think about taking this goalkeeper, sending him out on loan. Janessa de Esch was interested. They were going to cover 80% of the loan fees. But we've only got 2 goalkeepers at the club. So I mean, him and Sola have to be at this club. And we have to cover the wages. The wage packages, they've gone up significantly. I think the highest earners prior to this season were about on 600, 500 quid a week. Now it's about £2,000 a week for the highest earners. And that's why for someone like Papi Di, who was probably earning about £700, it was pretty substantial from us to move, even though we're losing 50 grand to start off with, just so we don't start leaking 500, 600, 700 pounds a week just for someone that we definitely don't want to really keep around. So it was a bit of trial and error, I guess, as well. Loads of outs. Oh my goodness. Where do we even start in that? I guess let's do the ins. A lot of talking. There's Gutierrez coming in again. Timo Hartman came in as a 5-star, dropped down to 4.5. I mean, disgraceful. That was 47.5k. But it's really, really nice to see actual money being spent on players. I thought this was an amazing signing out of Iran. He got transferred into the club. Aberdeen. Aberdeen. It is Aberdeen, isn't it? Aberdeen sounds incredibly Scottish. He transferred into the club. He was 5 stars. I was like, this is immense. An Iranian striker. No, he dropped to 4.5. Ricardo Aguirre looks amazing. Signed him up, 4.5 stars. Got him sold straight away. So it was about this time. This is a free agent, Aguzan Kaya, who was maximum potential, and then 1 month later, no, he's actually reached his limit as a footballer. Oh my God, please give me a break. He's been really unlucky, but from, I would say, that point forward, I started to calm down a bit. Mostly because the money had kind of dried up, but I was figuring out that most of the players that are going to show 5 stars, no matter what we do, are going to end up being 4.5 for some reason. One that wasn't, because we did spend a hell of a long time looking at this kid, Mustafa Tunka, who was a free agent, wasn't looking at him at all before the July cut-off of the contracts. Yeah, so 8th of July, it makes sense. And I offered him a trial because he had like really decent stats and his ability was massive, his potential was massive. He scored on his debut, which is really, really good. So eight days into his trial, we finally struck an agreement of 1.7k. I like the fact that he's strong on his left and very strong on his right. two-footed. He's a good player. He is a good player. And hopefully we can get a lot of money for him. This is another great signing. This is what I'm talking about. The smarter signings we need to make. And not only that, from what I've experienced this season, this off-season, the summer, we definitely need to look at improving the recruiting before we start splashing more cash around. Because our scouts are not good enough. It's as simple as that. Unfortunately, for them scouts, they can hang their head in shame. It's not been a good summer for them. But one of the good things to come out of this was Mario Dimitrescu, who came out of VVV Venlo, I believe, under 18s as an amateur. And, he's starting out as a right midfielder. However, right winger, but his crossing's terrible. We're going to train him up as a centre mid. Definitely. His passing's 11, his vision's 11. I don't know why he wouldn't be a centre mid. And to be honest, with the players that we've got at the club at the moment, centre mids are way more valuable to us at this moment in time. Domingo! Another one. Yeah, again, you talk about a summer where I couldn't win at all at the game. I just couldn't win. Domingo I had trialled from the 1st of July, as soon as he left his former club, got him trialled in, and from that moment to when he signed the contract, his potential was 5 stars. He looked like a real stud. As soon as he signed the contract, Domingo set to sign for Titus Pétange, click confirm, came up 4.5 stars. Now that really does show you that you can't win. You just can't win. So Domingo's come in, and I just keep on trying. Real good resource management on the finance as well, to get more opportunities for centre-backs to flourish. So we went and signed this Serbian kid, Dejan Nedeljkovic. Signed up. Potential was 5 stars. I was like, right, we might have finally got our man. Nope. His potential drops down to 4.5 stars. Like, Jesus Christ. And, Lucas Antonio was a pre-arranged transfer from a long time ago that was dropped immediately. Nice little signing here. Philip Lele, who was from an amateur Austrian side, so no fee involved there. Out on loan at the moment, I do believe. So let's see what he can develop up into. I always had eyes on Ivan, who's a centre-back, but he was 5'11". Fact is, he had amazing potential. And because we've now gone to continental scouting, we can actually pay for scouting outside of that range, which is Brazil and all other parts of the world. So I was able to get a scout on him, even though, let's be honest, I really shouldn't trust the scouts. And it was still showing really good stuff. Even though he's 5'11", because he's got that 5-star potential, he could give us some serious profit in the future, especially coming in on a free. So we went and signed him up. Jack Fairclough was a pre-arranged signing from long time. He's not developed at all. And Eli looked pretty good before he came in, and you can see that he has no potential. And the outs, now my webcam is kind of obscuring this, so we'll organise from money. So when I scroll down, you know that these down at the bottom here are all loans. Okay, so I don't need to mess about with hiding my webcam. Okay. So the dates are all mixed up, but you know that we threw a lot of players out the door, and most of it is because of dropping potentials and trying to replace them with higher potentials, basically. Because of our league status, the league reputation, we can't really ask for a lot of money from these players, which is a desperate shame. But still, we got 100 grand in the Liechtenstein League for Mamadou Ndiaye, which is not bad. It's a start. Girona took our left winger. And then we have Samuel Maldonado, former Wonder Kid number 2. He's gone to Real Zaragoza. That's a £79,000 fee. Could go up to 110, but I very much doubt it will. Stangnice has gone to Sognal. Whatever that team's called. 60k. Diego Luque, another forward. Because we signed a lot of forwards in, we got to get a lot of forwards out. Diego Luque, he went. This is not because of the potential. This is because he wanted to leave on a free transfer next season. So instead of him leaving on a free transfer next season, I decided to sell him, which is obviously the right call there. Ricardo Aguirre might be a disaster. It might be a disaster class from me. Maybe should have kept him a little bit longer. Even though his potential was reading 4.5 stars, we probably should have waited out and seen if he would grow, because we don't really have that many options at right back, should I say. Fato Selly is a bit of a surprise package, actually. A good story. He wasn't around last season. We got him loaned out and we sold him for 40k. Fortunately, he's got a little bit of an injury at the moment, so good luck to Fato to recovering. And hopefully he can hit the ground running at Chavez. Lucas Velasquez, our really dominant Argentinian centre-back, has moved to Lanús. That's because his potential dropped, and then there was that massive search for a centre-back to replace him, which really hasn't come up with any good stuff yet. But I don't think Velasquez would have been the answer anyway. Dennis Clausen has moved for 35k. That's a pretty significant amount of money for someone like that. With the particular market, obviously, if I was in like Belgium playing with Rupel Boom, I would expect a lot more money for him. But because we're in I keep on saying Liechtenstein, it's Luxembourg. Because we are in Luxembourg, 35k at this moment in time, when we're a really small league, it's not bad money. It's not bad money for someone like that. Neves going for 24k, 4.5 stars, but he is 19 years old, so I couldn't expect much of that. Disappointing that Dominic Martins dropped down to 4.5 star potential, but we got 20k. I mean, even though they're like little bits and bobs, most of these players were paid pennies when they were here and definitely free when they came. So all these 20Ks are all profit. They're all profit made by the club, which is really solid. Andorra was making some serious transfers from us. Marino Alonso coming in for 20k. Bojan Jovanovic, I really don't know how we got 20k for that particular player. Is reading 5 stars again, but he's 19 and his wheel's terrible. Lino Asensao has gone out. The speed merchant. Samuel Guilin, the Honduran midfielder. Another 20k, a lot of 20ks, and then Leo Parisot, who I really had a soft spot for, the free agent French midfielder. But he just wasn't good enough. Many of these players won't be good enough. Edson going out for 16k. Guillem Diaz, who I really had high hopes for. No, he was sold for 15k as his potential dropped. Is what it is. There's a lot of Spanish players that have disappointed me, but it doesn't deter me from signing any more Spanish players. I need to just keep on scouting worldwide for that talent. Mohamed Akar going out for 10k. The 10k players are here now. Tim Finkbeiner, who was probably our first regen. He was really, really close to being our first regen. Going to Meppen for 10k. Nahuel D'Angelo, the 21-year-old, 6'6" centre-back. Really old in terms of regens at this point in the save. He has been sold. Probably back to Argentina. Yep. And then we got Agustin Lopez going to Jeunesse d'Esch. So we decided that this guy wasn't going to be much of a threat going to our rivals. That was a 10k transfer. And then we got Lamine Kone. Limine Kone going to Army. Estudiantes San Luis sign up Alexis Valente, who I'm really surprised with. I really had high hopes for this guy to develop and blossom into maybe like a Europa League standard midfielder. Nah, it's not happening. He's 20 years old now, and we've now got way better midfielders with better wheels, even including the Danish lad that probably is a bust at £500,000, but he's got a way better wheel than that. Jack Phelan goes out on a free. This was a pre-arranged transfer, and I just really wanted to get him off the wage budget. That is absolutely fine. A few frees here. Ishmael Tabak going. Stefane Lidu, the left back, going to Granville. Rodrigo Magallan. No, he's not. He's not French. Magallan, Argentinian, going to Liniers. Then the loans happen. Do I have to go? I don't think I need to go through them. The loans are there, and I will probably, instead of going through them, just flick through. Let me release these trialists because they're not of much interest. We'll flick through the first team and the reserves, the under-23s. So you really get a sense of where we are now as a club, and we have got better. There's no doubt about that. We are a really, really strong side. Joachim, he's dropped to 4.5 stars as well. Joselito's gone down to 4.5 stars. So I really do have that sense that there are a couple of wonder kids amongst us, and Liesio might be one of them. Keep an eye out. Because of the amount of Brazilian players that we've brought into the club, I won't be surprised. Mendoza is another shout. Tunker could be, but the changes and potentials were happening way before his signing his signature. So I can't expect he was the change amongst the players. We got Dejan Kaya, who just disappointing. At least we got this guy on a free. There's not that much transfer waste. Pellerano is a trialist. Ruiz has dropped down to 4.5 stars. Silvino Zhao, we've actually promoted to the first team. Not because he's going to be anything good in the future, just because we kind of needed a bit of backup, and we, again, through the summer kind of realised, okay, 4.5 stars is actually pretty good here. Something is happening to drop everyone to 4.5 stars. We must have got a 170, a 180, a 190 potential ability player that's really pushing everybody else down. So that's fine. From that point, I think he has dropped to 4 stars there, but he's useful at left back. Useful utility player this season. Sola's there at 2 stars. Gonna have a real fight on his hand to try and keep the first team goalkeeper spot. A couple of trialists. Aberdeen making his starting appearances for Titus Pétange. Looking alright. More of a supporting forward, so not getting that many goals. Tim Bayer comes in from loan last season, and he's dipping from 4.5 star to 5 star to 4.5 star to 5 star potential. At the moment, he's 5 star potential. He can do a midfield job. He can do a job at right back. So, really, really happy to see him develop. Felix Briot looking kind of lame right now. Another opportunity here as the wonder kid that's really messing up the potentials. Ludemar Costa Perez could definitely be that guy. It's just a case of trying to keep whoever it is as at the club for as long as possible. Selou Diallo still got pretty high potential, but 19, he's just not really making any progress. And we've got Domingo, Dimitrescu. Nani's still got the 5 stars. Thiago Garcia has pushed up to 5 stars again. That's nice to know. I was listing him at one stage. Ignacio Giardino definitely could be that guy and was the reason why Ndai had to go, because his dribbling run last season was absolutely incredible, wasn't it? And it kind of set the stage, set the tone for change. Can even trigger a contract extension of another 3 years on top of the 2 that he's got. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. So you can see all the work that we've done here. Gilmar Antonio's dropped to 4.5 stars. Orlando Gutierrez is a 4.5 stars. Bjorn Hacker is 4.5 stars. I mean, even if we keep Bjorn Hacker for long enough, and I'm saying about 5-6 years, which definitely won't be the case because we'll be just ever evolving the team to make it better and better and better. But if we kept him for 5-6 years, if we really held that grudge, in that time we could up the league reputation, and the value of this guy would shoot up as well. We might be able to get our money back, but we won't do that. We won't do that. We could possibly do it, but we won't do it. Timo Hartmann, and we're back to the goalkeeper. So from the last time we did that check, you probably can see the growth in the team, and then we can quickly go through the under 23s as well. Mostly 4.5 star potentials, most of them out on loan as well, just to keep an eye on the development. That Guerrero kid is 5 stars, so that might be a good one. I'm really disappointed in Hostrup. Hostrup might be the biggest disappointment of the lot. There we go. And I was expecting a little bit more from Giovanni Schuvarts. He's dropped down to 4-star potential now. And that is your lot. Hopefully I've explained it as best as I could. Lee Williams is back up to 5-star potential. How on earth has that happened? He's 21 years old. He's definitely not going to turn into anything like outrageous. Schedule-wise, you probably noticed that we're not exactly at the start of the season, are we? A hell of a lot of greens. Oh, so many greens. All the way up to the Heidenheim game on the 2nd of July. We have a date with destiny against Odense Boldklubben, or Odense Bold Club, there you go, who is Danish, and whoever wins this 2-legged affair will get into the Europa Conference League, which I didn't think was going to be a possibility beforehand, because I thought we were going to get drawn against some really, significant European names. But no, I think the hardest really was the Shamrock Rovers tie, which ended at 3-1 on aggregate. So let's go and do it. Odense Bowl Club, and then we got a break. Redange will be simulated, and then back to Odense. The home game is the second one as well, so we can, if we need to, be a bit tactical here, be a bit more defensive away from home, but I don't think it will. I've got real big faith in this team. I feel like we're going to do it, and we're going to do it in a nice way. Yeah, so the Luxembourg season started really comfortable there as well. I thought this was the best way to introduce you to the season, not only because of the crazy amount of transfers that I needed to get through, but the crazy situation that I've found myself in, qualifying for the Europa League, Conference League, whatever. It's money. If we can get it, it's money. If I pause the game, I do apologise. Many of the things that we just talked about happened last night as well. So I tried to rack my brains whilst we were talking about that. But Mostrick came back. Okay. Joselito. Joaquim. Get it whipped in. Joaquim probably shouldn't be the player whipping it in. Is this going to be an Odense start? It's interesting that the game's freaking out a little bit. I do have Flight Simulator running in the background trying to update that. An absolute pain in the arse to update that game. Hopefully it doesn't ruin the experience. Early match stats looking quite good there for Titus Pétange. But the first key highlight was for Odense. If this draw is the norm, is the average for the Conference League, then I think we might be able to be regular group stage attendees in the competition. But I'm not too sure. We have gone down. We're 31 minutes already recording. Goodness me. So Emmanuel Sabi. Let's have a look at the skill on this player. Not that great, you know, similar amount of qualities. I think we're on the better defensive tactic. I seem to concede a little bit less with this tactic. Go on, Giardino. Yeah, there is definitely a little frame skip here and there. Mustafa Tunka, he keeps on his really good start to his Titus Pétange career, slipping it into the opposite corner. So I do apologise for the frame skipping. I know exactly why the frame skipping is happening, and the next time that we record, it will be gone. So don't worry about that. I can only apologise. I didn't think he was going to make a serious performance drop, because literally the flight simulator is on the menu. Just giving us a little loading bar. Unless the download is complete, which would be nice, but it always gets stuck. Over the last 3 or 4 days, I've been trying to update it. Say about 50 hours worth of updating, and it just gets stuck on a loop. It's absolutely atrocious, that game, for updating. For actually playing, it's amazing. It's one of the best experiences that you can have. However, here's another thing. Because of what I heard with the Pokemon news, try and say it really, really quick. There's kind of 2 online services, and one is being discontinued really, really soon. I'm going to have to play a lot of Pokemon soon, because there might not be an opportunity later on down the line to transfer all Pokemon to the new games. So maybe Flight Simulator will have to take a back seat. Try not to make the same kind of predicament for Football Manager. We'll try and make some time for that. So Odense have gone 2-1 up. A real collapse in the centre-back position in there. Match stats are not looking too great. So let's try and change the fate of this game, because if it continues like this, there's only going to be one winner. So Mendoza, just make it a straight swap for Ivan. Change the centre-backs, why not? And we're going to change the tactic since it's not working. Have Liercio on the right-hand side. So, to be more defensively sound, we're going to try and attack more. Let's see if that makes any change. The good thing here that I'm seeing from the start of this season is that we don't seem to be having that much that many problems in terms of team chemistry, struggling for team chemistry, where we were struggling for team chemistry at the start of last season. That doesn't seem to be with the same severity. There is a little bit of teething problems, but not significant. Okay, so this tactic is working a little bit better. Can see the statistics are starting to even out. We've had the key highlight there, but Tunker is not really a striker, so you can't really expect him to finish everything. It's a lovely ball as well. Mustafa trying to go behind. A really, really bad mistake by the forward. Let's try and swap Tunker for Laesio. Excuse me if you heard that. I've had a sausage roll, and it was delicious. Hit it. Ooh. So we've now got Tunker on the right, Laesio up top as the advanced forward. You got Joachim as your deep-lying forward. And there might be another chance in 30 seconds of play. I would be really, really happy with a 2-1 scoreline going into the second leg. I would not be happy with 3-1. 3-1's a bit of a mountain at that point. Bayer to Mustafa, the Urcio. There could be a potential here. Get it in. Joachim has just turned the tie on into our favour. So this definitely is the tactic to run against the Dents. Second half, as soon as we changed the tactic, it was all us. It was all us, mate. So that is good omens, you'd think, for the second leg. 2-2. No away goals. It would have been good for away goals, that, getting 2 in Denmark. But the advantage is now to play at home in front of our own crowd. Try and make sure that we're not missing anything serious in the inboxes. Giardino is a very, very good trainer. Hitting the 10s. So Rodange will try and rotate the side a little bit. Don't like the Sunday games that much, but that's how it is. I've got a transfer for something. Yeah, this is a loan. Jeunesse d'Esch want the goalkeeper. No. Hopefully we don't, creep into the hour mark. A lot of things happening. At the start of a season. Maybe the best option, if we're having something like this, again, split the episode up into the transfer section and then the game section. That might be a good idea. It was only 1-0 there. 26 shots, 12 on target. Another reason probably to get Tunker out of that attack part. But apparently Fan Day was a success, even though we only saw 1 goal. I guess the shots brought enough excitement. 9 points total from 9 points that could have been got. So no complaints here. Have a look at that scouting update afterwards. If we have a look at the scouting right now, I've only got 38.9k in the transfer budget, 463 pounds a week in the wage budget. Just trying to keep them in the white. So we should at that point just make a little bit of profit if we don't have any significant transfers out. I think stabilise the club a little bit, because of course finances have taken a plunge because of all the training facilities and transfers that I've had. Stabilise the club's finances a little bit, then go and really, really zone in on improving the scouting areas of the club. Because we need more. We definitely need more. And to have really solid scouts, I would pay big money for as well. So any decent scouts in the area, you're in the money. You're in the money. Take the job. Costa Perez is injured, out for 2 to 3 days, so he will be missing for the Adents match. Probably more initiative to get Tunker on the wing. See, Tunker was so good. He was just one of them players that we signed up, even though he wasn't really fitting in one position. But he'll get there. So, you got Mendoza pushing up to a midfielder buyer. That's fine. Let's drop Joselito. Joselito. Okay, dropping Joselito, Aliercio, or... let's have a look at Aberdeen in this situation. Swap these two around. Aberdeen is your deep lying forward. And fingers crossed, Aliercio's there on the bench, just if we need it. A lot of unregistered players because of the rulings. Let's try and get into the group stage. That would be magnificent for the club's finances. We won't really have any money worries going forward if that was the case. I mean, all the inflated wages that we've paid out this summer will be covered. Hopefully they haven't adapted that much from the tactics that proved solid second half. Bayer tried to intercept. Sabi looked offside, hitting the inside of the post. And we get it clear. Flag didn't get raised, so Adents immediately trying to take the initiative. Try and get through. Yes. Giardino. Oh, mate. Giardino is like the is it Giardino or Giardino? Giardino. Giardino's dribbling is sublime. Really likes to take on an opponent. Seen a little bit more of a dance in these opening stages, but don't need to worry. That's a brilliant ball. He's a great deep lying forward. Aberdeen is a great deep lying forward. Playing the ball into Joachim, and when you give Joachim that chance, he usually puts it away. A lovely, delicate chip over the goalkeeper. It's the first shot on target. We've got a throw-in on the far side here for Adents. Really balanced teams, these two. Oh, and it's hit the post, hitting the post. Goalkeeper just beaten. Alvaro Inigo. A lot of new names to get used to. And some that I probably won't because they will be moving soon. Including the two new Turkish players, Kaya and Tunka. They use their first names on their shirts. So that makes it even more confusing. All right, half-time, 1-0. We got that cushion. And it's a throw-in, hopefully to make it 2. Garcia looking to whip him. Mustafa. Giardino. Oh, yes. Ball by Giardino. And that is why you put the faith in him. Mbaye was a fantastic player. £100,000 was a lot of money. And Giardino was ready to take the place. And it was more like a winger traditionally than Mbaye, who I did have ideas of making a centre mid at one stage. So, yeah, there you go. Now you know. 2-0. It looks like we're going into the group stage. And maybe another chance. Joachim will really challenge for that ball from the centre-back to Mustafa Tunka. Potentially taking it around the goalkeeper there. Might have choked and bottled it a little bit. Yeah, look at the current scores. We could have played Wolves. We could have played Stuttgart. I think we got a little bit lucky with Odense. Napoli's in this. Yep. Look at the draw, and we have been lucky this time round. That guy is offside. Flag goes up. You could tell you didn't even need a linesman there. Good that I changed the tactic. Because with the other tactic, we might have not had this position in the first place. Sparta Prague were also in this stage. Okay, Ivan doesn't want to really. Well, that's just a really poor goal to give away. Ivan didn't really want to do anything there at the centre back spot. So we got 10 minutes to see this through. Let's have a look at the tactics. What can we change? Condition is pretty poor on these players now. So, Costa Perez is kind of all right. Swap them two around. Yellow cards as well we kind of need to remove just to make sure we're not playing the last couple of minutes with one last man. Joselito can play in the midfield. Domingo's not a midfielder. So we're just hoping that Tim Bayer can avoid the card. Just be calm. Okay, well, after dominating most of the game, we find ourselves 2-2, 4-4 on aggregate, and maybe head into extra time unless things can change. Things can change really quickly. Next goal wins it, essentially. If you can get one before extra time. Don't like the fact that we're passing it backwards so much. Joachim! Oh, mate. And look at the match stats. Very even now. I guess, look, all in all, it's been an even tie between us and Odense. It's a big prize on show. We do have an extra substitution, don't we? In fact, we have 2 substitutions now. So let's have Liercio in. Both of them having good games. I just don't really want to get rid of Joachim, you know. So I'll have to do a little bit of that. And then out of the 3 that we've got left, Domingo, then Dejan. Dejan's looking nervous, so let's go Domingo in for Kaya. And that's all we got. That's all we got. We just got to hope now that that's enough. Long episode is going to be long. Tunka trying the ball to Liercio. Need that energy, man. And Liercio needs to show that energy. Domingo smashes it. That is better. No nonsense. Should have that as well. Smashing it up there. Liercio down. Joachim with a great first touch. Joachim is clutch. Oh my god. Oh my god. Imagine facing up against this guy with a classy first touch. Standing at 6'7". That could be it. That could be the one. It's an incredibly close tie. And this guy apparently is onside. That is the easiest goal that they will ever score. Goalkeeper dived way too early. 3-3 now on the scoreline. Now we're thankful that there's no away goals. 5-5 on the aggregate. I think a bit of encouragement is needed. Don't really want it to go to penalties. Costa Perez trying to find a ball there. Joachim. Is he onside? Is Liercio onside? It's a great, great finish. And I think it's been counted. Let's go, man. Joachim makes the find with minutes to go. And Liercio, even though he doesn't have the greatest finishing, yes, he was onside. He's dinked it. It's beautiful. There's been fantastic finishes. In a just thrilling 6-5 aggregate victory for Titus Pétange. We are in to the group stages of the Europa Conference League. A lot of talking. Top form. There you go. I got an achievement. Top form. Get in. So what would that be for? See, that has given us £2.49 million. Jeez. Just that win alone. Pretty massive. Just got to keep trying to get to this point. Get into the group stage. We're not going to do much more. But just try and get to the group stage of the Conference League. And we'll do all right eventually. All right. Well, with that all being said, and there's a lot that's been said today, isn't there? It's time to finish the episode. See you next time. Bye-bye.